Today I'm going to illustrate some ideas around how you can stop destroying the boreal forest. So if you look around your home, we all use paper products to various degrees, some more than others. The average person will use about 700 pounds of paper per year, and these comes in sort of the various forms that you're probably familiar with. Everything from tissue, which of course is all made out of paper, toilet tissue, and paper towel, which comes in a few different forms nowadays, and also paper napkins, which I don't illustrate because I haven't used for a long time now. First of all, with respect to tissue, why not try to keep maybe just one box of recycled tissue in your house? If every household reduced and used a box of recycled tissue paper as opposed to things made from virgin forest, we can save hundreds of thousands of trees per household could be saved. And why not go a little nostalgic? I've got my grandmother's hanky here. The next thing is toilet paper, of course, which you can also get in recycled content, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what to look for. So post-consumer waste paper, these all are diverted from the waste stream, ideally, in your municipality, so they don't go in the landfill anymore. They go into your recycling box, and they actually get broken down and reprocessed, and these become your post-consumer waste recycled products. Your best bet, and always what you want to look for when it says 100% recycled, is look at the percentage of post-consumer, so PCW. So chlorine bleaching for paper products to make them look clean and white, even though they never end up that way in the end, is another way that you can reduce your footprint on the processing and chlorine that makes its way back into our water systems and contaminates waterways and is toxic to fish. So this is bleached with natural processing of, let's say, hydrogen peroxide or oxygen bleach. That's why it's white, but it's not used through chlorine bleaching process. And this one wasn't used for bleach at all. But what you want to really look for is 100% post-consumer waste in all of your products, and of course just reduce what you use in your paper products. So get some cloth napkins. You could make your own out of scrap fabric. You can, of course, when you're doing your home cleaning, which we've already highlighted, you're probably using recycled rags and towels in your home, so you're not even using paper towel, and it's really going to make a huge difference as to how many trees are left standing in the forest, and in turn how many billions of boreal songbirds, landbirds, and waterfowl we can protect by reducing our use. Now, if you like your cup of coffee in the morning, just like I do, or tea in the afternoon, for example, there's a few ways that you can reduce your footprint and help birds, whether they're in our boreal forests here in Canada, which is very important, or they're the ones that live all year round in the places that, of course, grow coffee further south in Central America and South America and other places all over the world. You can look for, and you've probably become aware of some of these labels, for instance, fair trade, organic, and more recently, shade-grown coffee. So fair trade on all sorts of products, not just coffee, means that the farmers who produced and grew and harvested the crops were paid fair wages and fair value for the product that they made, in this case coffee. There's no child labor. They've got sustainable farming practices in place, and this is an internationally recognized and certified label in order to get fair trade, anything from teas to coffee. Now, the other thing is, of course, organic, which you've probably become more aware of. There's a few certification labels for having organic, which means no pesticides were used in the production of making this crop. And the last one is with respect to why we want to make you a little more aware of how this promotes bird conservation specifically, is shade-grown coffee. So when a movement started for people to demand more fair trade organic coffee, there's places around the world that started to clear rainforested lands and native habitat to grow fair trade organic coffee. So the next label that sort of came into play was something called shade grown, or you might see it being called bird friendly. Now this ensures that coffee plants, as well as cocoa, for example, plants, are actually grown in shade native forest areas. So they're not these monocultures of plantations outgrown in the sun where native trees once lived. They're actually integrated into the forests. They've got now natural predators that would control any pest species, so that makes it a lot easier, of course, to be organic when you've got already insects being controlled by birds and bats and other critters in the forest. And you're also using, of course, organic matter. You don't need to fertilize your crops because you're using leaf matter and other sorts of organic matter that are falling to the earth and actually helping those coffee plants grow on their own. So it's a really environmentally friendly and sustainable way to get your morning cup of coffee, and another way that you can vote with your dollar in what you buy and impact what's happening globally to our declining populations of bird species.